you want. It's 16-bit.
Genesis has blast processing. Super Nintendo doesn't. So what's blast processing do?
In the 90s, Mascot platformers were everywhere. Sonic vs. Mario, Crash Bandicoot sold millions.
Mustache Man, your worst nightmare has arrived.
Spyro was still a PlayStation exclusive. Banjo-Kazooie became a Nintendo icon. But today, most of those characters have either disappeared completely, or they are shadows of what they once were. So what happened? What happened to Mascot platformers? The video game crash of 1983 nearly destroyed the gaming industry in North America. The market became flooded with low-quality games, retailers lost confidence, and consumers stopped buying.
That video games were just another fad. In fact, they're looking forward to what they call the second coming of the electronic video game. This is when a brand new line of more sophisticated video machines are introduced to the marketplace.
Then Nintendo arrived.
What's it like to play the Nintendo Entertainment System?
When Nintendo brought the Famicom to North America, it wasn't marketed as a gaming console. It was marketed as an entertainment system. Nintendo knew people had lost trust in gaming, so they introduced the Nintendo Seal of Quality and bundled many of their systems with Super Mario Bros. The strategy worked.
The Nintendo Entertainment System. Now you're playing with power.
Nintendo didn't just rebuild consumer confidence. They also created the blueprint that every gaming company would spend the next 2 decades trying to copy: a mascot.
Popping into McDonald's. It's Mario from the new Super Mario Bros. 3 game.
After Nintendo helped revive the gaming industry in the West, Mario wasn't just a successful video game character anymore. He had become the face of Nintendo itself. But Nintendo wasn't the only company making plans. In 1989, Sega released the Genesis in North America. While Nintendo dominated the market with games like Super Mario Bros. 3 and The Legend of Zelda, Sega was looking for a way to stand out from the competition. The problem was simple. Nintendo had Mario. Sega didn't have anything yet, but they would soon. Throughout 1990, Sega experimented with several character concepts before finally settling on a character designed to represent speed, attitude, and everything Nintendo wasn't. That character was Sonic the Hedgehog.
Danita Stokes, president of HAG.
It's bad enough that Sega Genesis has the most 16-bit games, but this new Sonic the Hedgehog, oh, he really does my doilies. They say he's incredibly fast. Well, what's the hurry, mister? And about his attitude. Smarty pants. Why can't it be more like that nice boy Mario? Oh! Little brat!
Now, get Sonic free when you buy a Sega Genesis system at its new price of $149.99.
Almost overnight, gaming had its first true mascot rivalry. Mario represented Nintendo, Sonic represented Sega, and suddenly, every company wanted a mascot of its own. No, like, seriously, everyone wanted a mascot back then. It's kind of crazy. Throughout the 1990s, mascot platformers exploded in popularity. Sonic and Mario dominated gaming, Crash Bandicoot sold millions, Spyro became a PlayStation icon, Banjo-Kazooie helped define the Nintendo 64. Every company wanted a mascot. Characters like Croc, Gex, Bubsy, Earthworm Jim, and dozens of others flooded store shelves throughout the decade. For a while, it felt like having a mascot wasn't just an advantage anymore, it was a requirement of sorts. If you were making a platformer in the 90s, chances are it starred a cartoon animal, some kind of lovable creature, or a character packed with a lot of attitude. Mascots weren't just selling games anymore, they were selling consoles.
Not for me, pal. You might say I'm Spyro's hot co-star. I love that little dragon. The way he blows fire at sheep like me. This is an official protest. I am an anti-Spyro activist. Genghis, come. What'd you say?
You're toast.
Help me.
PlayStation.
The transition from 2D to 3D was rough for a lot of franchises. A few thrived in 3D. Mario successfully made the jump with Super Mario 64. Crash Bandicoot and Spyro found successes on the PlayStation. Even Sonic eventually found his footing within the 3D space. But not every mascot was so lucky. Some franchises struggled to figure out what made them special in a 3D world. Games like Bubsy 3D became infamous for clunky camera controls, awkward movement, less than favorable level design, and a lack of clear identity. And that was only the beginning. Many mascots failed to evolve as gaming itself changed. During the 90s, a fun character, solid platforming, and a few collectibles were often enough to build a successful game. But expectations changed fast.
Blinded by the weight of mighty visions, and all that has passed before shall be changed forever.
By the late 90s and early 2000s, players were getting used to bigger worlds, deeper stories, voice acting, more realistic graphics, and complex gameplay systems. A quirky mascot that felt fresh in 1995 would only feel outdated just a few years later. And at the same time, the industry was being dominated by entirely different genres. Games like GoldenEye 007, Metal Gear Solid, Silent Hill, Halo Combat Evolved, and GTA 3 showed audiences were becoming interested in more mature experiences. Mascots weren't selling games the way they once had, and slowly, they stopped being the center of the industry. Some franchises managed to adapt. Mario expanded into RPGs, sports games, kart racers, party games, and countless spin-offs. Sonic constantly experimented with new gameplay styles. Not every attempt worked, but Sega never stopped trying new things. Rayman, Crash Bandicoot, and Spyro eventually returned after years of dormancy through remakes and new releases. And yeah, even Bubsy returned.
Yo, remember me? Your old pal Bubsy? From all those classic games you loved.
But many others never found a way forward. Mascot platformers didn't disappear overnight. Gaming just changed. And while a handful of mascots evolved with the industry, many of the characters that once dominated store shelves slowly faded into history. Mascots did decline, there's no doubt about that. Crash and Spyro went from being PlayStation mascots to third-party franchises. Characters like Bubsy and Banjo-Kazooie slowly faded from the spotlight, often going years without new games. The era where every company needed a mascot was clearly over, but mascot platformers didn't completely disappear. In many ways, they evolved. Games like Hollow Knight took platforming in new directions, combining exploration and progression systems inspired by Metroid and The Legend of Zelda 2 specifically. Mario and Sonic continued to remain pillars of the genre. Crash Bandicoot returned with Crash Bandicoot 4. Spyro recently got a new game announced too, his first brand new game in nearly 2 decades. Even franchises that many people assumed were gone forever have continued to reappear in one form or another. And perhaps the biggest sign that platformers never truly died came in 2024, when Astrobot, won Game of the Year.
The Game of the Year is... Astrobot!
So what killed Mascot platformers? Well, honestly, nothing. At least not completely. What died was the Mascot boom. The era where every company was desperately searching for the next Mario or Sonic. The mascots may have faded, but the genre they helped build is still alive and well.